to the Stock Market Morning Prep video for Friday, March 21st. Another green day, outside day actually. Dow Jones up 108 points, Nasdaq up 11, S&P up 11 and a quarter. Russell up $3.31. So we did get follow through from yesterday. Today's going to be a short video. I'm just going to cover some of the indexes, but I also want to cover some stocks here that are acting really well, and I think that needs to be noticed and put on your radar for next week. Next week actually is going to be a very interesting week, to say the least, and I would love to see this market at least pull back a little bit, so stocks can be a little cheaper than what they are trading at right now. Okay, so we had the Janet Yellen sell-off. Basically, they took it back yesterday, and now in the pre-market we're up about $4.75. Keep in mind, today is monthly expiration, so the market makers play their shenanigans, and I need you to understand that. Just don't think that immediately that we're headed higher and we're going to explode higher. Now, really, we could that could happen, but remember, we're at the 1272 extension. This is a daily chart, and this market has been capped for at least 6-7 weeks because of this extension. That does not mean we can't blow to the 1618 extension here, okay, from the previous low to high. But I just want you to be aware, volume was a little light yesterday, so just something to be cautious about, okay? Remember, we want to stick to the trend, and right now the trend remains up. We did have that little bit of a pullback here, but the trend does remain up. So we want to watch, though, approaching this 1272 again, which could easily double top and then fail again. So nothing too crazy is going to happen today, at least unless something gets announced or something happens overseas, because it is the options expiration. Now, I looked at some open interest in the spiders, and there's heavy buying in the 190 strike. So that means that I would say, pretty much safe to say, that the spiders will be capped today at 190. Now, we are trading at 187.60, so there is a lot of room to run to the upside before that 190 strike, and more than likely they'll defend that area and bring it probably even closer to that number, maybe 188. So if we gap today, which looks like we will, we'll probably get a little bit of a run up to the upside, but don't expect too much movement beyond that. Once this market starts to stall, I think you're going to keep that market will be pretty much capped most of the day. So it'll be subdued trading today unless you find some good nuggets, like I call them, some golden nugget trades. And that's where I want to show you some good stocks that's on my radar right now. Okay. All right. So there's the daily. And then here's the hourly. As you can see here, that 1820 area is pretty good. I mean, we've actually hit this several times, and then we've bounced right back above it. Also, that 1838, keep that in mind as well. As you can see, we came back up, and now we're back testing this little area of the 1272 extension again. So remember, this area has capped twice already, actually 3 times, and we continue to make lower lows, lower highs. Yes, we did break that little bearish symmetry this morning. Okay, that's actually this is today, the early morning session, electronic session, so you want to just be aware of that. We did break it, and again, it is options expiration, so usually I discount anything that happens the next couple of days, which would be Thursday, Friday, and even Monday a little bit of what's happening, okay? So now, what I want to show you is, I wanted to talk to you about some of the bank stocks. In the longer video that we have several sectors, and as you all know, I do like the banks into 2014 solars. Those are one of my 2 favorite, and the builders. So I want to cover a few stocks today, more of a stock picking video, if at all, because we want to see what can we make money in, and the banks are acting fantastic, and I'm going to tell you why. Obviously, we talked about this in December when I said that the Volcker rule will play a big role in the banks, that they need to now lend. They really can't aggressively trade deposit money anymore, so they got to do aggressive lending. Also, buybacks. Now we have the banks just went through stress test, and 29 of the 30 banks passed except Zion Bank, ZION, which failed. Again, it's a regional bank. Not a great big bank like some of these bigger banks that we trade on a regular basis. So they all pass. So that's kind of a looming cloud that's now surpassed. And I like here Citibank. Citibank hasn't been above 50 for a while now, and I think we have 4 days up. We are approaching resistance, but let Citibank break back up and create that lower high. that higher low that we're looking for. So something like a breakup and then something here, easy to manage. You can look inside, look into your trading plan and decide where do you want to risk. As you can see, volume is increasing, so this is to me an excellent spot. I'm looking for Citibank for some further upside. Now, Goldman Sachs, another great trader. Goldman Sachs here is actually did not break out, but actually had a great day yesterday. Look at the volume here. So money is getting accumulated, and you can even see here a nice ascending triangle. So take this Goldman Sachs trade, put an alert above 70.25, see where it runs, and then let the next back test come in, and you can buy that on that next higher low. Easy to manage again, right? Would be below the average. So Goldman Sachs, Citibank, I like a lot. J.P. Morgan really is just kind of gone here. It's too extended for me unless it gave back 50% of that candle. So J.P. Morgan really is a little bit extended. What about Wells Fargo? Wells Fargo, again, doing nothing wrong. I mean, breaking out here. So I put Wells Fargo back on the radar as well. Let's look at some of the financials. Morgan Stanley doing fantastic. So Morgan Stanley, again, on my radar. I'd like to see a little bit of a pullback in that stock. Let's take USB. U.S. Bancorp, again, doing well. So you can see that the sector, is money coming into the sector. But the best, right now, two of my favorites are Goldman Sachs and Citibank. Two of my favorites. Again, J.P. Morgan is gone. So let's take a look at the builders. Builders were really disappointing yesterday. Lennar, especially, we broke out of this bearish symmetry the previous day, I think on Wednesday, and Lennar announced big beat, top and bottom line, 7%, 7-cent beat, and sure enough, they sold into the news. So Lennar, I think, is going to be one of the favorites. But again, we do need to watch that anything can happen, right? You would think, okay, a breakout, we're going to move higher. Sure enough, they sold into that, okay? But the builders are actually due for some good movement as well. Another one I do like is Pulte Homes, PHM. Again, they all gave it back yesterday, but that's fine. You just got to keep them on your radar for the next rotation of money going into them. KBH, again, actually held up a little bit better. Smaller builder than the other two, but I do like the two of my favorites would be the PHM and the Lennar, LEN. Okay, now let's go look for. Let's take a look at some of the oil and gas. Remember, I always put down this XOP. I like this here. I have a mark here at 70.80 for a breakout and then a back test. Volume coming in, as you can see, looking really healthy. One of my favorites in the oil and gas arena would be Valero. Valero here looks like it's ready to break out. Okay, and if that happens, you got plenty of room to the upside, as you can see. There's really blue skies above, and coming into driving season, we just started spring yesterday. Volume creeping up a little bit higher. I look to see Valero breaking out. If you think Valero's a little too, you can get it to Tesoro, TSO. Not as a good looking chart as not as good as Valero, but again, doing nothing wrong here. It just needs to stay above the 200. If it breaks below the 200, then I would let it go and wait for another move higher. Okay, but look at the TSO. The Valeros, something like that is a great opportunity for some sort of a trade ideas, okay? But keep that in mind. Also, remember today, guys, we do have, again, that options expiration, so they play a lot of funky things going on. Oh, one more thing, too, is technology. We had CRM, cloud computing. Right now, it looks pretty decent here. It does need a little work, but these are stocks that I don't want to show you if they already made their move. This is something here. It needs to get above some of the averages, but you put an alert at 60.90 and breaks above it. I think you can really get into some decent trades here. Okay, Intel I mentioned yesterday. Intel did beautiful. Actually broke out yesterday, but again with the market here, you need to really use a little caution. Now this breakout really is confirmation that we are indeed moving higher. As you can see, we had volume coming up for the last 4 days. Now you want to look for, what you want to look for now is the next higher low. The next higher low, let it pull back, let it retrace back down to this area, and if the next high and low holds, easy to manage. You'll be below your horizontal resistance, which is now support, and that's where your stop will be, either that over here or below the moving averages. But now this has confirmed the breakout, so you want to look for the next pullback in Intel. Okay? All right, guys, I hope that helps. A little bit of a stock picking video this morning. Just wanted to show you some key stocks. There are a few more, and what I'll do is I'll start putting some videos together for some trade ideas as well. Maybe reduce some of the time on the stock market morning prep video, and incorporate a little bit of a segment on some quality stocks here that we always look for.